Okay guys, it's 2019 and one of my resolutions was to create more informative content, to put it on YouTube, hopefully help you guys out a little bit. Those of you who are starting out in photography, maybe later on in the year I'll do a bit more advanced stuff. So today I thought I'd share with you some things that I wish I knew when I started photography. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. Tip number one, shoot raw. Loads of cameras these days have the ability of shooting raw photos. Every photo you take, a lot more data is packed into it. So you get a lot more detail in the highlights, a lot more detail in the shadows. You can manipulate it so much more than you can using JPEG. So yeah, shoot raw. Okay, tip number two, composition. Now this is something I really notice about photos. Composition means how the photo is laid out. And it's something you want to start thinking about when you're taking photos. You don't want to just whip your camera out and start snapping. Think about where your subject is positioned. Is the person standing on the left or on the right of the photo? Is there symmetry in the image? All these little things can make your photo a lot more interesting. It will go a long way into making that image 100 times better. Tip number three, you don't need the best equipment. You don't need the biggest camera, you don't need the most expensive camera. You just need a camera. Sure, it's tempting to go out and buy the £3,000 camera with all singing, all dancing because it gets rave reviews, but you don't need it. I still shoot stills on my Sony a6000, which costs about £300. There's no problem with it. It still shoots amazing images with great quality. Hell, we've all got smartphones in our pockets. They're cameras, and they're usually pretty darn good. The cameras these days in phones are fantastic. There's even apps these days that allow you to change all the settings like these big expensive cameras, like my a6000. You don't need a big expensive camera. You just need a camera and you need to know how to use it. Which leads me on to point number four. Know how to use it. Imagine you had an old classic car, okay? Imagine you had an old classic car. You love that car. When it breaks down, you know exactly what's wrong with it and how to fix it. You've stripped it apart so many times so that you could put it back together blindfolded. That's what you should be like with your camera. Every setting in that camera you should know. I know it sounds daunting at first, but you'll learn it. You'll know the limitations of your camera. Say it's rubbish in low light. You'll know that it's rubbish in low light and you'll know how to fix it. There's always limitations for your camera, but you'll still get stunning photos if you know how to use it. Okay, my last tip here is really simple. Just go out and take photos. Take loads of photos. Chuck your camera in your bag every day. Go out, snap whatever you want. Like I said before, you'll start learning these things. It's great fun finding out what works and what doesn't work. Hell, I shot a photo. I was trying to take a cool picture of the lights in the motorway, left it at a long exposure, and it turned out this chaotic mess. And that's the photo that my mum loves. She has that in her house. I blew it up for her, it's now on her wall. You never know what you're going to get until you try. The best way to learn photography, take photos. Simple. Okay, so that's it. I hope this video was helpful to some of you guys. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you've got any questions, drop a comment. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more of these videos in the future. Follow me on Instagram at csimps22, and yeah, see you later.